They say life is a game, gotta have your goals. I gotta take a shot, now pass me the ball. Always wanna stop me when I'm running the ball.
Hello and welcome to Pitch Football at the Euros with me, Iain Chambers. We've got the one and only football reporter Abigail Davies, legendary midfielder from many clubs in his illustrious career, Paul Ince. And we've got England fan Mark joining us on the show as well. Mark, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. Lovely to be with you guys today.
It's a big day today, isn't it?
It's scary. It's good though.
You know, a bit of a story. You know, me and my mum, my dad and my gran, we're off to Waterloo. What have we got with us?
We looked in the back of the car,
Yeah.
and there was a bucket of
Vindaloo.
Perfect.
What are the chances of that?
I don't know.
It's a big... Look, I'm excited. England in a...
And the kids were crying. I said, what are you crying for?
Why
I
were
said,
they crying?
because I want to go to the zoo.
I like what he did there.
See, I just Vindaloo.
It added it.
I genuinely can't tell
That's
which are the
Vindaloo.
lyrics and whether you're just making it up, to be honest.
Listen, before we...
Are they the actual lyrics?
Yeah, they are. Not the zoo.
All right. I genuinely would have
It
believed
sounded
that
like
was
it, didn't
it.
it? It sounded like it. I know.
Listen, there's so much to discuss when it comes to this game, but before we do, let's just take a moment to pause, take a breather. It's been a long month. Let's look back at this tournament. How do you think it stands up to previous years gone by?
Obviously not as good as 2016. I think we all know why. But no, I think, to be honest, for me, what's happened on the pitch has been, I keep touching your knee, sorry, has been overshadowed by off it. So, you know, not having fans there and all of that, I think, for me, has taken so much away from this tournament. We saw in 2016, I know I joke about it, but it's for the fans. And I think, yes, it's been great during these times to see fans come together, but I don't think we've seen enough of that, and not every nation's been allowed to experience it. So for me, that's tainted it, and it's taken a lot away from what we've seen on the pitch.
What do you reckon,
You
Pierre?
said it all, didn't you?
Yeah.
Don't say anything. I mean, to be fair, listen, I mean, if you're talking about on the pitch, then, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, how many games, actually memorable games I actually remember that stand out in my head and think, well, you know, I'd think about the Italian-Belgium game.
Yep.
Holland, Ukraine.
You know, that was a very good game, Holland-Ukraine.
Yeah.
Maybe the France game, you know, the Spain game. So there's 3 or 4 games that you can say, yeah, they were good games.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the excitement come from penalty shootouts. So when I kind of look at the tournaments that I've played in, the tournaments that I've watched, I don't think the standards be great. I think, being totally honest, Abby hit it on the head when she mentioned about the fans and, you know, teams playing at the same stadium for 5 or most of the games. So yeah, I don't think it's been great. And you look at like Ukraine, you know, as I said before, they beat North Macedonia, beat Sweden on penalties, and yet they're in the quarterfinals of a major tournament and get beat 4-0. Be against England, you know, that shouldn't be happening really if you look at it. And this is a problem. I think all this third place that goes up to the next, to the last 16. You know, I don't think it's the right way to do it. You know, but I'd rather have 8 groups of, you know, do it that way and let the top 16 go through rather than this third place. Because no disrespect to Denmark even, you know, they had only got 3 points to get out of the group, and they're in the semi-finals of the European Championship. So I think there's a little bit more tweaking there. But listen, this is what it is. I'm just glad that football's back. I'm glad that fans are back in the stadium, and that's all you can ask for at this moment of time.
You enjoying it, Mac?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a lot tighter games than I've seen in previous tournaments. A lot more of the big teams focusing on the winning mentality of kind of just get through 1-0 sort of thing. So like England, for example, in the past, maybe people have always managed to kind of gone down the route of trying to deceive a bit with a bit more expansive play. But now, I mean, from an England's perspective, Southgate very much just solidity is the main thing, and this is kind of getting through with that. So, like Paul said, I mean, there's a lot less exciting games I think in this tournament than there have been in previous ones. But whether that's fatigue through the season, whether that's for a lot of them, they've got to do a lot of travel. I don't know. So.
Well, there's one amazing fan opinion right there. I think we should get some more. Before we should, shouldn't we? Let's look back to England's dominant 4-0 win over Ukraine. Paul just alluded to it. Here's what the fans made of that result.
This is a James Holder for the Euro Bureau here on pitch. With me, I've got England fan Archer. Firstly, talk me through what we just witnessed.
4-0. It was a good game, man. There's no critiques on the team. Well coached. Every player seems to know their role. On to the next game.
Masterclass, to be fair. An absolute masterclass.
Very good performance from England. You see a proper team spirit. You could see it from the technical staff to the players. Everyone is like one, you know.
What do you make of Gareth Southgate's team selection today for the game against Ukraine?
Do you know what? I'll give him props because a lot of people criticise him because of the attacking talent we have, and he's never like wavered once. He sticks to his guns, and you can't fault him for that. No matter what we think, you know, we want to see attacking players, obviously, but we're not picking it. And like, I had a feeling we was going to score goals. That's why I done 4-0 on my bet. I fancy us. We're coming good at the right time. You know, it's all clicking well.
Everybody's been crying out for a more attacking system today. Do you think Gareth Southgate was justified in his team selection with the result against Ukraine?
Based on what he did in the past 2 games, I would say yes. Yeah, with the Germany game, definitely, and today proved it. He got his plan, and you just got to stick behind him, support him, whatever he do, and I would say, yeah, bring it home from there.
Do you know, it hasn't been negative for me. I kind of understand where he's coming from, because the teams that have done well in tournaments prior have played a certain kind of style, and that's what England seem to be going for.
Luke Shaw, in particular, played very well today for England. What do you make of Luke Shaw's performance against Ukraine?
Listen, I'm a Man United fan, so I'm glad to see him do well, because he's had a lot of criticism, and I don't really understand where that's coming from. I see him week in, week out, and he seems to always do well.
2 big goals for Harry Kane tonight. Very important performance from him, from the England captain. Talk me through that moment.
Yeah, from the last game, for me, that goal he scored in the last game, I knew this was going to happen today. A betting man would always say he'd score this game without a doubt because of the first goal he scored in the game before. He needed that, and that's what's happened.
Coming into the Ukraine game, was you confident that England would have been victorious and by this sort of margin?
100%. We're taking over, brother.
You reckon the bloke who made the bet, the 4-0 bet, he owes you a pint, doesn't he?
Oh, for sure.
You called that. He's been watching you, hasn't he? That's what happened.
Of course he has. Without a doubt, 4-0.
Love it.
But we all know he only went 4-0 because he can never be more than a goal away from me in his prediction. And I went 3-0. So I basically got you that prediction.
I knew that was coming.
Mark, did you expect to get to this stage of the tournament as an England fan?
I think the expectations, you've got to be at least, we've got to be looking at least semi-finals with the squad that we've got, kind of the strength and depth that we've got as well, and also being able to play at Wembley the whole time. I think for me, it was anywhere from the semi-finals as a bit of a lottery after that. All the teams I was expecting all the teams to be a similar quality. I don't know, I wouldn't put Denmark in that bracket, but you look at Italy and Spain, I don't think any one-off game, I think England could play against them and win or lose. I don't think it's a set in stone either way. So I think they've done very well to get where they are.
Do you think that 4-0 result, Paul, gives fans maybe a bit of false optimism going into the semi, just because like you've said before, they weren't the hardest opponent to defeat?
No, yeah, listen, they've got to be going there with lots of optimism, obviously. You know, the way England are getting better and better throughout the games. As I said, the group stages, they just kind of did their job, so to speak. And, yeah, listen, you know, you can only beat what's in front of you. And I think the early goal helped England to settle down. But yeah, 4-0, Denmark going to be a different opposition, without a doubt, you know. Yes, we expect to beat them, of course we do. We're playing at Wembley in front of 60,000 fans, so we expect to beat Denmark, but it won't be as easy as it was against Ukraine.
Do you think as well it's more important because I think England's tactic now is very simple, isn't it? The way they approach a game, it's a simple but effective way to do it, and I think that's key in knockout football, to just keep it simple.
Well, I think the thing is for England, and this is the most important thing, I don't want it to happen, but how did you get when they goal down? England never going to goal down in this tournament, you know. So what's the kind of game plan if they do goal down? Hopefully that won't happen, but if it does happen, it'll be interesting to see how they go about it.
You're not conceding, are you? You're not conceding this tournament.
No. But what can that do to you mentally if you're on a run like that where you're not conceding? Can it be a bit of a shock to the system when a goal goes
Yeah, it can, because it's like, you know, you're so used to not keeping clean sheets, and all of a sudden, I mean, especially against Denmark, you know, you can't see Denmark scoring early, but you can see England scoring early. So to goal down, it's like a shell-shock attitude. What do we do now?
They haven't been on the back foot yet, have they?
No. You start, and the thing is, because England, the way the England play, because they're playing this kind of, I wouldn't say defensive kind of tactics, but they're kind of, you know, to counter-attacking football more to speak than they're actually going at teams. Because the way they play, all of a sudden they've got to come out and open up, and will that fall in the Danish hands, because they can score goals. Let's don't get me wrong, I've got 4 against Russia. You know, they're playing really, really well. We can't underestimate this Danish side.
Mark, who have been some of the standout players for you in this team?
In the England team?
Yeah.
I think Saka, when he's come in, is it great? Personally, I think at the back, actually, he has up and downs, but I think Kyle Walker's been essential. I think having him in that back, if you have him in the back 5, he's kind of like a get out of jail free card, and he's been really important for that. And I just think Jordan Pickford as well, I don't think he gets that many plaudits because he's very different at England than he is at club level, but I think he's had a good tournament so far. Sterling, yeah.
Best player for England?
Yeah, I think he's really come of age actually in this tournament in terms of he's been a big player for a while, but for England he's been getting a lot of stick, and actually this is the first big tournament where he's been a standout player for us, and I think it could be known in the future if we do go on to the final as his tournament.
I think you're right though. We've not talked about Pickford when, you know, I argued should Henderson start in goal before the tournament started because of Pickford's club form, but he's looked confident. He's commanded his area really well. I think his distribution at times has been poor, but overall, like you said, got to commend what he's done.
Well, listen, I mean, I think with Pickford, he's probably always going to be the number one choice. He's never really let England down.
Yeah.
He made a great save against Scotland. McDowell went corner. The bottom man corner, made a great save. So when he's been called upon, he's been fantastic. But listen, I think you've got a good defence in front of you. It helps.
Yeah.
You know, we've now got a kind of consistent defence. Now Mings has been taken out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, I think Kane scoring goals. That's the most important thing. As an English fan, you know, because we did worry, didn't we, at the start?
We did.
Kane wasn't going to score goals, but now
I
he's
didn't
scoring
worry
goals.
at all.
No, this man next to me did. Said Kane wasn't scoring any goals, but now he's scoring goals. You know,
Thanks for reminding me.
got to be happy, eh? Kane is scoring goals.
100%. He's got to go for that golden boot, right?
Correct.
Absolutely. You think he'll get it?
Yes.
All right.
Gonna go with yes.
Before you go, what's your prediction for the semi-final today?
I'm going to go 2-0 England.
2-0 England. Who's getting the goals?
One for Kane, one for Sterling.
Love it.
Nice.
Love it.
Marky
right.
boy. Nice, Mikey.
Mark, enjoy the game. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
And
very
we'll
much,
be back
guys.
with another England fan after the break.
They say life is a game, gotta have your goals. I gotta take a shot, now pass me the...
Welcome back to Pitch Football at the Euros with me, Iain, Abby, Ince. And you've become a bit of a staple of this show, Will. England fan, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Very happy to be a staple. That can only mean good things, I think.
I love it. You always come on and you always give good opinions and all that good stuff, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Blows me out of the water.
England, Denmark. Here we go. We can actually look ahead to it. We can talk about it. We can dissect it. But first, let's talk about Denmark as a potential threat. I'm going to come to you first, Will. How much trouble do you think they could cause us?
I think they could cause a lot of trouble, mainly because there's a big risk of complacency after, let's face it, a pretty easy game against Ukraine. And, you know, they're a really good team and they have really good players. But I think in the second half we can turn the screw. They looked a bit tired against the Czech Republic, and for all the danger they can bring, I think if we can keep it tight in the first half, as we have been doing throughout, in the second half we can make our chances count. And, you know, no matter how much quality they have, we've got even more.
As a Welsh fan, you know how punishing this side can be.
Thanks for that.
Sorry.
Thanks. I was already feeling chirpy this morning. Yeah, absolutely. I think only Italy and Spain have had more shots on target per 90 minutes than Denmark. They've won the most aerial battles in this tournament. They're very powerful, but they've got skill as well. So, yeah, I think they're going to be a very, very difficult. It's going to be a difficult game. Sorry. And I think the thing is with England, we've touched upon it before, but there's not complacency in that side anymore, and I don't think Southgate allows them to get complacent. So that's one thing that I think is in England's favour, and dare I say it makes them a little bit more likeable for the outsider as well.
Do you agree, Paul?
Likeable.
He wasn't listening.
No, I do. I just think it's one of those games where, you know, on paper we should win the game. You know, not say comfortably because they've got some very good players. But I think we know our jobs now. We know what we've got to do, and these games are just about on the day. You know, it's about performing on the day, preparing right, doing the right things, going through your routines. You know, as individuals and then collectively as a team. We're here for a reason. Denmark are here for a reason. And you know, listen. You know, this is a fairy tale story about Denmark. You know, see it from day one. How far can they take it? We don't know. So that's they're going to have an extra spirit. They're going to have. It's like a cup final for Denmark. It's a semi-final. It's their cup final. And that give them an extra boost like it did with Scotland against England at Wembley. So, listen, it's not a foregone conclusion.
Little stat for you.
Go on.
Højbjerg has created as many chances from open play as KDB.
Wow.
Stepped into that Eriksson role as playmaker, and he's not doing bad.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Isn't he?
10.
Been fantastic, Højbjerg.
Well, it has been, we've touched on it many times on the show, but a very emotional story for Denmark. And if they are going to go out of this competition to England, they're going to go out kicking and screaming, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the emotions have carried them a long way, but we all know how things can blow up, and those kind of emotional stories, you know, they don't always end well. They can end in tears, and they can end in, you know, red cards, or, you know, it's such a mental game. And, you know, sometimes, especially if you're tired and, you know, they feel they're losing a grip on the game, I can really imagine, you know, it can all get a bit much. So, you know, they can use it to their advantage, but it can also hold them back if it becomes too much and they lose their shape or whatever. So, you know, England have to keep that in mind.
Well, let's cross out to more England fans and see how you are feeling ahead of the semi-final.
This result means potentially we've got Denmark in the semi-finals at Wembley. How confident are you going into that game?
I'm confident, but at the same time, listen, we haven't conceded any goals, so I'm pretty confident. But Denmark look like they got goals in them, so I would say that. But I think we can beat them.
Definitely, yeah. From my first instance, when they first qualified for the last 16, I did say the winner between Germany and England is definitely final, semi-final, 100%.
Well, they've had this thing, haven't they, with Ericsson? I mean, they're playing for pride, aren't they? I mean, they're on a, you know, I think they lost the first 2 games, didn't they, and managed to get through. They're riding a wave at the minute, but I think we look pretty good. I mean, I think we're the only side that ain't let a goal in at the minute, so we look really comfortable at the back, really comfortable.
Talk me through England-Denmark semi-final at Wembley.
It's going to be a harder game than tonight for sure. I think Denmark, with what happened in with Christian Eriksen, it's probably lifted them 10-20% in their game. But I think we've got the quality. I don't see any complacency. You know, I think they've all got their eyes on the ball, and I expect, 2-0. That's what I expect.
What does it mean to you as an Englishman to see England into the semi-finals of the European Football Championship?
Yeah, just means more drink, more beer, and another night out, of course. Always.
What do you reckon? It's coming home or we're going home? What are your thoughts on it all?
Yeah, no, it's coming home always. It's always coming home. Even if it don't, it's coming home.
It's home already.
It's coming home.
Yeah, definitely.
It's coming home for sure, 100%. Yes.
Let's wait and see, mate.
I'm quite happy, but it's the same scenario as 66 because been there, seen it, done it, bought the ticket, seen them win in 66, bit older than all these little sprogs here, right, and very proud, right, and I'll tell you one thing, ain't over yet. We haven't won anything yet.
What a legend. Also, I really appreciated the guy who said, what's it mean to you as an England fan to be in the semi-final? He said, more drink, more beer.
Absolutely.
That's something you would have said, wouldn't it?
Not today, I wasn't.
What does it mean to you, Will?
Yeah, it means a lot. I've seen England, you know, play pretty badly and fail pretty regularly through my life, and I think, you know, when I came back from Russia in 2018, I was lucky enough to go out for a game, and I was really proud of England. I got my first England shirt since I was a kid because I thought they'd really performed super well. I mean, it was a fake one, but maybe after this one I'll get a real one.
I love it.
Absolutely love
Ince,
it.
this is a big day for the players, of course. You know what it feels like. You've been there. You've done it. I know we've talked till the cows come home about 96, but we can do it one more time.
Can we?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Semi-final day.
Yeah.
How does it feel inside as a player?
Obviously you're buzzing. You know, you're buzzing. You wake up in the morning, and it's just that kind of, this is it moment. This is where, you know, you, as an individual, I used to think this is where you got to produce. You know, forget about all the games that have gone on previous to that. Now's the day. This is the day that matters. This is the day where, you know, you step away from the final.
Yeah.
And you walk down for breakfast and you look at the players' faces, and you can see the ones who are a little bit apprehensive and the ones who's not.
That's where you'd say liven up.
Yeah, when you get the change. No, you do, because then you have the thing is, you have the team meeting. I was kind of different because obviously I didn't play in the Spain game because I was suspended.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking, am I going to be playing in the Germany game, because obviously we've got Phil in the Spain game, be a penalty. So you think, am I playing? Am I not playing? Then he names the team, and everyone, you can see everyone just go. You know, you can. It's because once you're on that side, you think you're in. Yeah, you're in. I mean, I didn't change a lot, but I only changed me, but. Yeah, and then you get to the stadium, the atmosphere going up there, Wembley Way, and the fans, and you can see the belief and the positivity on all the fans' faces, thinking this is it, this is our moment, you know. And but once you get out there and sing the national anthem, that's when you get a little bit goosebumpy. You know, you're looking in the crowd, looking for your family and all that stuff. But as soon as the whistle goes, it's just another game. It's just another game, honestly.
Really?
Yeah,
How can you switch it that quickly?
I do, because
you just got to do your job, right?
Yeah, you've got to do your job. All the pressure comes before the game. You know what I mean? As you're walking out, all these things are going through your head, you know, and you know, you visualise your performance. How am I going to play? Who am I playing up against? And all those type of things. But as soon as that whistle goes, you just do your job.
You said about apprehension. Who in that England side do you think would be apprehensive ahead of a game like this?
I think there'll be quite a few of them, to be fair.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. Listen, I think obviously it depends who goes with Saka or Foden or Sancho. But I think everyone, they will be apprehensive. I think you've got to have those nerves. I think it's important to have those nerves. But there will be a lot of nervousness going into this game because, you know, they know what the rule is if they can get through to the final. So, listen, I don't mind nerves. I don't mind people being apprehensive. That's when you need the likes of Maguire. That's where you need the likes of Harry Kane to go around the change room and look at the players and see the ones who might be nervous or a little bit, because you know you can't be too nervous because it can affect your performances. So that's down to the leaders of the team to do that, the Hendersons.
When it comes to that pressure and the stuff that's going on outside of the game, you know, especially when you were playing, there was all sorts going on when it came to the press and stuff. But even little things like if you have an argument with your missus or whatever, how important is it to just block out everything else and just get in the zone?
Yeah, it is. You have to be like this kind of blinkered vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And forget. I mean, you see all that when you go up towards the stadium. You see all the fans. You're looking at the window and you're seeing all the flags and everything. And that's what's happening outside of it. But as soon as you walk in that change room, bang, it's tunnel vision. That's it. Go do your job.
Did you get goosebumps when Paul was describing that?
Yeah, it's pretty magical. I'm thinking I get pretty nervous for our Thursday night 7-a-side. I can only imagine what it's like for England. You know, I'm just thinking, just take a few good passes, a few good touches, you'll ease your way in, and like Wembley Way, God, I can't even imagine.
Love it. Listen, I need to give you a reminder. If you haven't already downloaded the Pitch Football app, you need to have done it by now. I've been telling you every single day for the last month. There's so many amazing features on there. Fan time. If you want to get, you know, your opinion heard right here on this show for our final episode this weekend, and you need to get on Fan Time right now. Pitch Football, download the app. And also Foreplay. There's only a couple of games left to get your predictions in and potentially get a round of golf with the Govnowski. And I can tell you now.
So I did that. So I just put like
it was beautiful.
Little baby draw that was.
I can do that.
This might be hard to believe, but I haven't found a sport yet that this man hasn't been good at, Will. We've tried chipping. We've tried tennis. And today, later on in the show, you're going to try a sport you've never tried before in your life. Is that right?
We both are, aren't we?
Yeah.
We both are.
I'm feeling confident today.
Good.
I'm feeling a little bit confident.
It's about time.
You felt confident about the tennis as well, though, to be fair.
And the chipping.
Yeah, and the chipping.
I don't get that confident. I never get that competitive. I'm pretty chilled.
Confident isn't a good thing with you, is it? Clearly, it doesn't bode well.
Listen, we're going to get Paul's starting 11, who he would bring to the table in this semi-final. Before we go to the break, what's your prediction, Will, for the semi?
England win 2-0.
2-0, so 2-0's going
Yeah,
round.
there isn't there.
All right, Paul's starting 11 after the break. See you then.
They say life is a game, gotta have your goals. They say life is a game, gotta have your goals. I gotta take a shot.
Welcome back to Pitch Football at the Euros with me, Iain, Abby, Ince, and England fan Will. Ince, let's get into it. It's what the people want to hear. England, Denmark. What's your starting 11?
Whoa. I thought about this last night, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought, should I be controversial or should I just be...
What, like giving Luke
Me.
Shaw 6?
It was 6.5.
That level.
It was 6.5, went up to 7.5.
He switched gears.
Yeah.
For the
Switched
first
gears.
time in his career. Before you give it,
Yes.
do you think that Southgate should set up differently against Denmark than he did against Ukraine?
Switch
No.
to 3 at the back, no?
No, I don't think so. I think, as I said, we're at Wembley.
Yep.
I think we have to go on the front foot. We have to be attacking. So I think he's going to go 4-3-3. I don't think that much is going to change. I think he's still going to go with Pickford. Walker, Stones, Maguire, Luke Shaw, Declan Rice, Phillips, Mount, Sterling, goal scoring machine Harry Kane. This was a question I asked the fans the other day. Do you play Foden? Do you go Saka? Or do you go Sancho? That's the only doubt in my mind which way he's going to go, because they've all played.
Yeah.
Which we didn't really envisage. I think after the first game against Croatia, Foden had a decent game, should have scored early on, very unlucky. And he hasn't played since. So, maybe it's horses for courses on that right-hand side. But, I think he's going to go with Sancho.
Do you know the only thing I'd change? I'd put Trippier in instead of Walker. I don't think Walker played that well against Ukraine.
The thing about Walker is that he's got so much pace, his recovery, and you've got to understand that when you look at people like, no disrespect to Stones and Maguire, they're not lightning quick. You know what I mean? They get turned. But his recovery runs are dynamite. So I think, listen, I get what you're saying, but I just think the pace of him, and also I kind of think from a defensive point of view, when you look at the likes of, Dolberg, if he plays up front, or Poulsen, if you play Trippier, it's easy for the centre forward just to peel off to the far post. I think Walker can deal with that more than what Trippier can. But it's my team. I didn't think I thought you asked for my team, not yours team.
This is
Did you say my team, didn't you?
I did say it.
I was just challenging it.
No,
I wanted more from you.
You're doing your job.
I wanted more from you.
I think that's it. That's the winning team. We all think with Sancho on the right. Do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I think Walker also he's got a bit of aggression to him, and I think in a team with lots of fantastically talented players, a lot of younger players, it's nice to have a couple with a bit of bite around them. Could get a nasty lace on. So I like that. And Mason Mount has got to play. I was glad to hear him back in there. I think he's just so important, and he'll help us play really high up the pitch, and that's what we need to do.
You pressed a lot higher with him in the team against Ukraine. I think he makes a massive difference.
No, they do. I mean, and the way England play, the fact they are kind of more or less playing counter-attacking football.
Yeah.
You need to make sure your players are back in position to set it off. And I think if you have Grealish in now, it kind of leaves gaps in the park and that. So that's the 11 that's going to beat the Danish tonight.
We'll get your prediction very shortly.
I'm flying at the moment.
He is flying. He's on fire. Will.
Still behind though.
Will, are you a huge believer in Gareth Southgate? And if the answer is yes, have you always been?
I am. I haven't always been, but like I said, I was there in Russia. I was there for the penalty shootout, and I think anyone who was there, you had to believe after that. And even when everyone else, it was fair enough to have some doubts at some point since, but basically, if you were there, it was very hard to ever lose that belief. We really saw a team transformed after almost decades of sort of struggles and behind the scenes mental blocks and so on. And you can say what you like about his lack of experience, but you can't question what he's done on that side of it.
Let's get some more thoughts on the England gaffer from more fans.
How much praise should England get Gareth Southgate and the defence and the goalkeeper for not conceding a goal so far in the tournament?
That's got a lot to do with Gareth and the way he set the team out and the way he's coached the team. I think he deserves a lot of praise. Him and the boys at the back, the whole team, they've defended from the front. We pressed really well.
A lot of people did doubt him at first, but I think, mate, I don't know. He's got a lot of things up his sleeve, hasn't he? A lot of tricks. He's holding on, isn't he? Yeah, I do rate him.
Fair play to the man. He's come back, and 25 years later, he's leading a great England team. We've got a chance. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say we'll win it, but I pray that it's coming home.
The confidence. He's worked with a lot of these young lads in the youth, under 21s, so he knows them inside out. They know him, and it's just a good chemistry. Unbelievable.
Paul, question. How much of Gareth Southgate's success in this tournament do you think is down to the belief that is coming through from his squad in him?
Yeah, I think what he's done, and we all touched onto it before, he knows it plays from the under-21s. He's a different type of manager that we've had in the past. I've always been in squads where players don't really want to attend all the time. Sometimes they throw a little injury in after the game on the Saturday and think, I don't want to go to England. These players all want to play for England. They all want to be there. They want to be part of it. And that's what Southie's done. He's made it a club kind of feeling, a club kind of atmosphere. Yeah. So everybody wants to be a part of it. And he's got a lot of respect for that. Not just Gareth Southgate, but Steve Holland, his coach,
Yep.
and the staff, the backroom staff. It's all about everybody. It's not just about the South End, the players. It's the whole environment you create within that. And it's just shown on the pitch at the moment. I think we go back to 2018. Losing in the semi-finals was disappointing.
Yep.
So I thought that was an avenue where we could have actually won the World Cup, and we'll find ourselves in the same position again. We've had a very comfortable journey, very smooth journey, but the belief is growing. You know what I mean? The lads are very confident, and he deserves a lot of credit, Southie, to come back from 2018, which was disappointing in my eyes, but it gave the country a bit of a lift. England fans, as Will would probably alert to that, we've always never had this belief in England that we can go and win something. I think after 2018, we start to believe again. And now here we are in 2021 in the same position with different players, better players. So, listen, why can't we be positive?
I think as well, he showed, after the Ukraine game, putting his arm around Grealish, explaining why he wasn't picked or why he didn't come on. And also in the post-match interview where he said the thing he was thinking about most were the players who didn't make the 23 and those who didn't get onto the pitch. And I think that just shows that it's that respect for everyone who's involved in the journey. You don't have to be in that squad, but you still play an important role, and they've bought into it. And I think that's important, especially when you're not getting game time. Jack Grealish probably, at the time, you don't want to hear that because you're just thinking, I haven't played. But I think that just shows a different side to him, that man management that's so important.
And the best thing he's doing at the moment, and I think it's easy, you talked about before, Iain, about outside influence. Have you seen the fans? It's coming home. Straight after the Germany game, he said, "It's just one game. We beat the Germans. Got a long way to go." Trying to keep everybody calm and not getting too excited. And that's the most
That's
important
really worked,
thing.
doesn't it?
No, but I've just been as far as the players are concerned. You know what I mean? Because they will be hearing all
absolutely.
this noise. They will be watching the TV of a night time. They will see the fans. And it's just keeping them on that level playing field, that level ground, to say, "Listen, we haven't done anything yet, and we haven't done anything yet."
Yeah, it does feel like a really grounded approach, and I love it. Let's get some predictions then. Starting with you, Abs. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go...
I want a nil in there.
Oh, God, I'm going 2-1 England.
2-1 England.
I'm going 3-1 England.
3-1.
You heard it from me.
Never more than a goal away.
3-1 England. You heard it from me. The man who predicted 4-0 England.
3-1 England.
And he's going to dine out on that forever.
Too right,
Will, you've been on the show how many times? Is it 3?
Yeah.
You've been a great guest.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what we thought we'd do is we'd reward you with an opportunity of a lifetime.
Well, you've already given me one. That's very kind of you guys.
Just being able to sit next to the governor.
Exactly, yeah, and you guys.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
It's nice to have a guest who doesn't mind us either, isn't it?
It's nice. What we have
Well,
here
that's why it keeps coming on.
is a football signed by Paul Ince himself. There's a couple of other signatures on there that nobody cares about.
They can be wiped off, can't
They can be wiped off, me and you.
Yeah.
But we're going to play one more QIPI. Quite interesting Paul Ince quiz. We've got 5 questions about Paul Ince's career for him to answer, and if he gets 3 out of 5 correct, you get the football. What do you reckon?
I think as well we can allow, if Paul doesn't know the answer, Will can help.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try, Will.
I'll do my best.
You can deliberate.
That's why you're here, Will. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
So, do you ask that?
Yeah, you go for it.
All right.
Let's
Mr. Ince,
get it on.
Let's get quizzical. Mr. Ince, how many goals did you score at West Ham, Manchester United and Middlesbrough combined?
West Ham, Middlesbrough.
And Manchester United combined.
Not Liverpool or...
No, just those three. Just those three.
It's never a good sign when they start repeating.
It's not even a multiple choice there, is there? So
No.
That's really tough.
It is tough, so I'm going to go for...
We wouldn't mind the answer on today's
45.
show. Oh.
39. You got 25 at Man United.
It was
25.
close. It was
close.
So that's one to me then. Because you've got to have a multiple choice. You can't just get them on the number, can you?
We'll see. So, what was the date of your full England debut? And you need to be within a week.
I think he's got this.
Yeah,
Full
it's
debut.
something you should remember.
It was 1992.
Correct.
Yeah, but we've asked for the full date.
What day the game was?
The date.
It was 1992, Will. And
what month was it, Ince?
I think it was September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the date?
Come on.
September.
Amazing. Well, my birthday's 18th. Maybe.
Well,
it's a Tuesday night. It was a Tuesday, Wednesday night. So it would have been.
Come on.
The 15th.
You can have that. It was the 9th of
You got that,
September.
yeah.
Oh.
Well done. This is
It's a
easy.
tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Name
what's the
three.
second
You smashed
birthday?
it.
Oh, we're running out of time, but we're going to keep going with this. Name 3 other players that played alongside you during your England debut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Wow.
I went there.
Platt.
Correct.
Des Walker.
Correct.
Not David Batty. Les Ferdinand. Stuart Pearce.
Okay. You
Tony
got,
Adams.
wait, which 3 are you going
Lee
for?
Dixon.
He's just showing off. We're
You're
giving
fine.
that. Yeah.
Right, listen. He's got 2 so far. He needs 1 more correct to win Will
We've got
the
an S in
ball.
the bag.
We will
I've got it
finish off our final edition of QIPI. You reckon?
Absolutely.
After the break. I cannot wait.
They say life is a game, gotta have your goals. They say life is a game, gotta have your goals. I gotta take a shot now.
Welcome back to Pitch Football at the Euros with me, Abby, Ince, and England fan Will. It is all to play for. It is crunch time in our final game of QIPI, the quite interesting Paul Ince quiz. If you get 1 more question right about your own career, Paul, you win this signed football for Will. Will, you want him to do it, don't you, of course?
Desperately.
All right, got 2 more questions.
We have.
He just needs to get 1 out
Are
of
you
2.
ready?
Let's go.
Gaza celebrated his spectacular goal against Scotland by putting himself in the dentist chair. Who was the first player to spray water into his mouth?
Teddy Sheringham.
Oh, I'm afraid you're wrong.
It was Shearer. I did
It's
like
fine.
the conviction.
Don't let
there.
it affect
I did
you.
like
Don't
the
let it affect
conviction.
you. Next
I did
I
question.
like
love
the
how
conviction.
Will was going
That's
like,
tough. This is what we love, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Understandable. I thought the same, to be honest.
thought
But that's
Teddy
the
Sheringham.
famous photo, I think.
It
But
all
they've
comes
got you out.
It all comes down to
one.
this.
I mean, he really wants the ball as well, so
Okay, cool.
I think you can do this. Oh, it's tough. Name the trophies.
Ah, come
Wait.
on.
Name the trophies that you won at Manchester United, other than the Premierships.
League Cup.
Yep.
FA Cup.
Yep.
Charity Shields. Yep.
Yeah, you can have that.
Charity Shield. It's a trophy.
Yeah.
Cup Winners' Cup.
Yep. There's 1 more.
Cup Winners' Cup.
you can't say the same one twice.
Cup Winners' Cup. Cup Winners' Cup. I said Cup Winners' Cup. I said that.
Yeah.
yeah.
So far you've said the FA Cup, Charity Shield, League Cup.
Super Cup.
Super Cup.
What's happening here? What are you doing coming in to play? You just won
Love
yourself
it.
a ball!
Love it, really, boy.
Well done, Will.
You can honestly rub me off that.
I'll do that. It's
Rub
my-
me
my
off.
great souvenir of my lovely time on the show.
Perfect, Will.
Will,
Nice.
you
Good.
deserve it. Thank you. You've been a
Yes.
great guest.
No problem.
And enjoy the game tonight.
you.
All
You
right?
too, guys.
Thanks
Come
a
on,
lot.
England.
Come on, England.
Yes.
Right, we touched a little bit earlier on about the pressure involved with big semi-final situations like this, and it's a conversation that this man had with his old pal, former England goalkeeper, you call him H, David Seaman.
Do you remember how nervous we felt before the Scotland game and the Switzerland game, actually?
I remember how nervous you were. I was fine. I was right.
Yeah, right. Of course you were.
I was fine. You know what I mean?
I remember going to the top of the tunnel when we went to have a look at the pitch, and there was knights on horses whizzing around the dog track at Wembley. And I was like, oh my God, that massive blow-up trophy in the middle of the pitch and everything. I was like, oh God, this is it.
And I think it is, you know, even though people like us, you know what I mean, we've had very good careers, you know what I mean, went in at the start of the tournament. I think because we were at home, I don't think we were nervous about the teams we were playing.
Yeah.
I think it's just the fact that we was home and the build up to it, you know, just going up the street and all the cars, you know, bibbing and the flags out. And we think this is the opportunity, and then people keep throwing it in their faces about 1966 and it's 30 years on, you know, we've got a great chance. And so you kind of get nervous about that.
What a man. And he could handle the pressure, couldn't he?
He could.
Yeah.
Liked to a lot.
He loved it. Hey, we've got a new guest.
We have indeed.
Is it
Always bringing the glam.
Is it?
It's not a guest, is it?
What is it?
It's the governess.
It's the governess.
Loving that. Snocking from the right without you noticing.
The woman, the brains behind Pitch. All the Pitch.
All of the apps.
Pitch
All the
football,
Pitch.
all the apps, the family of Pitch. But listen, let's talk about pitch football, because one of the things we've been doing throughout this entire show is telling people they need to get on there. Telling people about Fan Time, which is an amazing, one-of-a-kind feature actually on that app. And also, foreplay. And it's been going well, especially for you.
It has. I mean, I love the fact you only bring me on to talk about foreplay. This is going to set my reputation forevermore, isn't it? But I'm ashamed to say, still second.
I've got the leaderboard up right now. In case you don't know, basically, foreplay is where you go to try and predict the scores from the Euros. Points equal prizes. You work your way up the leaderboard, and currently Clarkey is sitting in first place with 1,880 points.
You need to make friends with Clarkey, don't you?
I do.
Closely followed by Palace Princess on 1,840.
And you know, I've got to be honest, because the last time I came on and I put the plea out saying I've spent enough time with this man already, I do not need to win this. In fact, I will forfeit and hand it down to the next person, I think. We don't need to play 4 hours of golf together. Well, with me chipping round, it'd be more like 15 hours of golf. But yes, but I honestly went extreme. I thought there's no way this can come off. There's no way if I predict these scores. Should have put money on this. I've nailed it.
Brownie's close in third. So
Yeah, come on, Brownie. Come on, we can do
It's still all
this.
to play for. And just a reminder, you know, Susanna alluded to it there, but the winner does get a round of golf with this man right here. If you don't play golf, like me, I'm never playing again after playing with him. You can just have a meal with him, and that's just as good.
You felt the pressure, didn't you?
I really felt the pressure, but that's a talking point for another day. Susanna, what have you seen happen with the Pitch Football app over the weeks that have involved the Euros?
Oh, it's been great. And do you know what's been so lovely is having the feedback from the show and getting people involved. So this is the first time we've done a tournament, because normally the app just works for the Premier League and Champions, and EF. Oh, easy for me to say. The secondary league. Thank you. And you know, but it's been great to actually get everybody together, because normally you download as your team, so people talk within their actual team. So so it's been lovely to have everybody together, everybody using it, and kind of have a whole cross the tournament. It's been
Just
good.
getting started, right?
Just getting started,
Love
absolutely.
it. Download the Pitch Football app if you haven't already. When should they do it, Ince?
Now!
Definitely now.
Now, one thing we've all learned over the past 4 weeks is this: there's not much this man can't do. That's the first thing, is there? There's not much you can't do. And he's very competitive. I'm not that competitive, but he's like...
Yeah, right.
I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed we've not found something.
The three of you are super competitive, and with each other, even from witnessing it from the other side of the camera, it's quite something. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I might have called his bluff here. Found a sport that he'd never done before, right?
Confident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's cross over to me versus Ince. Abby's there too, on a balls green, baby. Let's have it.
So, Paul's stepping up first. While Iain tosses his ball. First ball. There's a nice weight to it, but there's absolutely no spin. You can move your hand as much as you want, but that's not going to spin it. Oh, that's lovely. He's got the knee action though. Oh, rolled off. I think that's what the pros would call rolling off. Paul fancies this. He fancies it a lot.
Trip then. You see him trip?
That one doesn't have the length or the line.
I don't know.
No length or line. You're looking for length and line.
Oh, come on, baby.
I'll be honest, the action looked horrendous. The action was horrendous there.
I'm winning.
I don't think either of you are winning right now. I think that's a beauty. That's nice. That's nice.
Is that me?
I think that's the closest one.
Let's go, baby.
If anything, he's going to knock that one on.
Go the other way.
I don't think he's going to listen to you. I don't think the ball's going to listen. Right, your last one. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I feel
Can I just say, so
I've been waiting for this win for a long
Let me
time.
say something.
I feel great about it. I've been waiting for a long time for this win.
This is, as you say, for all the marbles. This is it. One ball, extra time. This is it.
I can't turn him down.
This is what we were born for. Let's do it.
Can't turn him down.
Jesus.
You go first. Yeah, you go first. You go.
Right, this is for all the marbles, as Iain likes to say. They're both kissing their balls, which is slightly disconcerting.
You've got this, PI. That's the one.
That doesn't look bad. It's the length I'm worried about. Oh. You've got to be happy with that.
It's good. It's good.
Sono felicissimo. Adesso...
Tell me, is it coming home?
Yes, it's coming home.
It's good, but it's good, but it's not great.
Okay, it's good, but it's not great. Ian's confident. He's flexing. He's flexing. He feels like he's got this, but he also felt like he had the tennis.
I already won though, so I don't...
No, because Tom said it was a tie.
That's
lovely.
Oh.
Stop!
Oh.
Stop! Stop!
Go!
Stop!
Oh wow.
Look at the camera!
Oh wow. Oh wow.
I've won!
Me! Yeah!
All the marbles.
All the marbles. Wow, you know what? I like to be humble in victory.
You're not being humble right now.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying not to smile. I'm trying to contain
One more
myself.
rad. One more go.
Listen, I've done the golf, the chipping. I've done the tennis. Finally, I've done the bowls. You know what it says?
There's nothing you can't do.
Quebec to Mono. Harry Kane, hat-trick, Denmark.
I just want to say, I'm currently looking at Kyle, cameraman 1, Tom, cameraman 2, editors as well. Some really crafty editing went down there because everybody knew you were there. You know what happened. They edited out my actual win.
Of course they did, Chambers.
Yeah,
of course
they
they
did.
did.
That's what they all say, isn't it?
Yeah,
What's he
what's
talking
all that
about? What's
about?
he talking
What's all
about?
that about?
Absolutely.
Honestly.
All right, I'll tell you what. He did do it for all the marbles. There is nothing this man can't do. I'll hand it
It's
to
like
him. Right?
you've just moved on.
Congratulations, partner.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Susanna, before you leave, let's get
Absolutely.
your prediction, shall we, for the semi-final today, England-Denmark. What are you saying?
Oh, I'm going to say 2-1 to England and keep it all crossed.
That's what I went for.
2-1 to England and keep it all crossed. That sounds
Like
great.
that.
I love it. Right, well, I hope that you enjoy the game tonight. Wherever you are watching it, it's going to be epic. You've got to enjoy these moments, Paul, right?
Of course you have.
They don't come around often.
Certainly don't.
So enjoy it, and we will be back with a best-of show on Saturday at 2 p.m. until 2:30. Then our final show, looking at, of course, the final. It will be on Sunday at 2 p.m. We will see you then. Enjoy your night. Bye for now.
They say life is a game, gotta have your goals. I gotta take a shot.